All right, so we're diving into some pretty wild legal stuff today.
Yeah, this is interesting stuff.
Young Thug, he's currently on like 15 years probation after that whole YSL REO case, right?
Yeah, huge case.
Well, he almost had his probation revoked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what happened?
So we're looking at this TMZ article from April 3rd, 2025, and it's all about the judge's ruling on this whole thing.
So, what sparked this whole probation scare? What did the judge actually decide? And, what does this tell us, bigger picture?
Yeah, exactly. And I think like right off the bat, the thing that really jumps out is how, someone like Young Thug on probation
Yeah.
can get into so much trouble just from something they do on social media.
Oh, absolutely. And TMZ lays it out like this. It'll start with this repost he made on Tuesday.
Okay, so let's like break down this post.
Yeah.
He shared a blogger's picture
Oh,
of a police investigator who was testifying in a murder trial.
got it.
And the caption Young Thug put on it was, "Biggest liar in the DA office."
Oh, wow. He did not hold back.
No, not at all. So like obviously not something you just want to put out there if you're trying to stay under the radar.
Especially when you're on probation, right?
Right, exactly. And that's what got the attention of Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis.
Oh, yeah.
She actually requested to have his probation revoked because of this post.
I see. So it wasn't just the opinion itself.
Right.
It was the potential fallout from it.
Yeah, they were arguing that this post basically led to threats against the officer who was testifying and even against DA Willis herself on social media.
So they're saying it's like a real world safety issue.
Exactly. So it wasn't just like words,
Wow.
it was the potential consequences of those words.
Makes sense.
So the big question is, what did the judge think about all this? Did they actually revoke Young Thug's probation?
Yeah, where's the line, when it
Yeah.
comes to actually violating your probation?
Right.
It's a good question. And that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
So according to this TMZ article, Judge Whitaker ultimately decided not to revoke the probation. Yeah. And the reason the judge gave was that while the post was definitely not wise,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't actually meet the legal threshold for what counts as a probation violation based on what's in his sentence.
So the judge basically saw it as like, yeah, it was a bad move,
Yeah.
but not technically breaking the rules of his probation.
Right. It seems like a nuanced decision for sure.
Yeah, and the article also mentions that the judge gave Young Thug a verbal warning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the judge advised him to show restraint regarding certain topics, which
Oh.
I think basically means like, hey, you're on thin ice here, watch what you say.
Yeah, like a heads up.
Exactly. So it seems like the judge recognized that things could easily escalate, but this specific post didn't cross the line legally.
I see.
And it's important to remember the whole context here, right?
Right.
Young Thug got out of jail back in late October after he took that plea deal in the YSL RICO case,
Yeah.
which landed him with this 15 years of probation.
Wow.
And for anyone who's maybe not super familiar with RICO cases,
Yeah.
it's basically about organized crime like gang activity, and that's what the whole YSL case was about.
Right. And this social media thing isn't the only drama surrounding this case.
Right. No, not all.
TMZ actually mentioned a bunch of other developments in this case, too.
Oh, yeah. Fill us in.
So apparently Young Thug's co-defendants, Yak Gotti and Stillwell, were found not guilty.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's this crazy story about Yak Gotti getting stabbed in jail because people thought he was cooperating with the authorities.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Yeah. And then on top of all that, Young Thug is still dealing with this $5 million contract breach lawsuit from AEG Touring.
Oh, man. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it shows just how much is going on around this case.
Yeah, it's definitely not just a simple probation issue.
Right. And I think when you look at everything together,
Yeah.
it really highlights the kind of scrutiny people on probation face,
Yeah.
especially if they're in the public eye like Young Thug.
Right. Even seemingly small actions can blow up into huge legal problems.
Exactly. And the fact that the judge didn't revoke his probation this time,
Yeah.
I think it shows how judges really look at the specific details of what counts as a violation.
So the big takeaway here
Yeah.
is that Young Thug managed to avoid going back to jail,
Oh.
despite this whole controversy on social media and the DA wanting to revoke his probation.
It's a good reminder that probation isn't a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right. And it's crazy how much these specific conditions and how they're interpreted can really impact someone's life.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
It really makes you wonder about the whole intersection of social media and the legal system,
Yeah,
especially when you're dealing with someone as high profile as Young Thug.
especially when you're talking about potentially inflammatory statements.
Exactly. Like, where do you draw the line between free speech and violating the terms of your probation?
Good question.
Yeah. And how much does public perception play into all of this?
It's complicated stuff.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you with a lot to think about. Thanks for breaking all that down with me.
No problem. Happy to be here.
All right, that's our deep dive for today.
See ya.
Catch you next time.